tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar. All I want is satisfaction. Make a move, baby, you got nothing to lose. Give me that, give me that, give me that good reaction. Gonna make it right, little like an offer I can't refuse. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar Ooh, that sugar Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar, just my kind of heat. Ooh, that sugar. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion. Ooh, that sugar. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly just in time, know
Good morning. Morning, folks. Hope you are well. Hope you all had a good weekend. If you're in the room, come and say hello. It is Monday, and as you can see by the screen, morning, Prakash. There is obviously not a lot of fundamental drivers on a Monday, and I believe the US is closed all day. Oh, that's blue. It's usually... There we go. It's my normal color. US has a holiday today, so whether we see a lot of movement into the US session is yet to be seen, but just be aware that there is no fundamental news coming out today, and there is a holiday. So it may be quiet. It is a Monday, and as we know, Mondays are often quiet, let's say. That's probably the easiest way to say. So, no news, and yeah. So, before I get into it, Prakash, I know you had two questions. I'll answer them. Obviously, for me personally, last week was very good. If I bring up my FX book here, I obviously scaled my StockNet 10K account. So just going into your question, Prakash, I've got 3 accounts right now. So whatever one that I have, one StockNet, I have this one. My one, technically the 175k, which I've gone into drawdown to the 150. I've got my 10k account, which is now, I don't think they've scaled it just yet. Yeah, it's still an 11, so they haven't scaled it up to 20. I believe they'll probably open ATM UK, so it should be scaled at some point today. Morning, Silver. And then I have got my larger account, which I cannot show, but if I'm on it with my phone, obviously there's different position sizes for each individual account. So that's the only reason why there's differences there. Does that make sense? Because obviously on my 150k, the position size is different to my 10k, and then towards the larger account, the position sizes are obviously larger. So it's just purely, if I'm sending a screenshot on my phone, right, I'll be logged into one of certain accounts, and obviously those position sizes are different. But ultimately, I'm just giving an update on the trade. It shouldn't really matter my position size or anything. It's just an update on how the trade is going. Does that make sense, Prakash? And actually, by the end of August, I'll have another one. I'll have my own personal one. So there'll be some slight. Anyway, whichever account it is, it's just an update on the trade. Does that make sense? Now, just to go through the stock net, because you asked, what was your question last week? What's the 10k scale? Yeah, so essentially with this account, with the stock net account, so I bought a 10k account, and obviously I have my other one, but when you make 10%, as I have done last week, so in this case, I go up to 11,000. Morning, Leon. Then they essentially double your account each time you do that. So you're 20k, then you're looking at 10%. When you get another 10%, you go up to 40k. You make another 10%, you go up to 80k, then 160, then 320, then 640, and all the way up to 1.28 million. So that's the stock net scaling system, where you can grow it. As I said, the two accounts that I've bought are 10k. You can get the 1250 and you can get the 5ks. But I started on 10k and I've made my 10%, so I'm up to 20. Now, these numbers differ slightly if you keep your profit in as a buffer. So I'm not obviously withdrawing anything here, anything significant. So my next account size will be 21,004, but I'm still looking to make $2,000. So technically, as you increase and you scale up to your 40s, where you're, let's say I make 10%, which will be around 23,000, so I'll be up to 43,000, and so on and so forth. This 3,000 is an extra buffer, and unless you decide to withdraw that. So your maximum drawdown would be 8% now. Now it would be, so 21,000 is what I'll be on. 8% from 20,000 should be 200. So it'll be $1,800, right? That's right. It's a Monday morning. Give me a break here. Yeah, 8% should be $1,800. But then I plus my $1,000 that I keep in. So my real buffer is 2,800 because I've kept that profit in, right? So that's how it works. That's how I'm doing it. I'm not interested in taking any withdrawals out of these probably until the 360, i.e. so the next scale on my 175. I may look at taking some money yet, but really from 10k up to this number, I'm not interested in withdrawing. I'm just going to use that as drawdown buffer, and again, allow myself a bit more freedom and not have to worry a little bit about losing 8%, which obviously we can do. I don't recommend doing it. I don't recommend taking all your money out and then going up to scale, because I just feel that at some point a bad drawdown will come. And why put yourself in that position when really you're looking, in my opinion, in this game, you should be looking for that significant withdrawal. So for example, if I get to the 360 and let's say I make 10%, now obviously the numbers will be slightly different because my profit's in, but just for the ease of use, where you make a 10% month, $36,000. Now you keep, I think, about 65% of that on this particular account, which is obviously a significant amount. So once we go up here, we are, again, I know I'm different than other people. If it's significant about money on, $2,000 and you make $2,000, you want to take it out, then fine. But for me, I'm really looking for these big payouts from a personal standpoint. And I'm happy, and I know I'm a different situation, but I'm happy just to wait until I get to that area, which the payouts become significant. But what's also part of my plan is if I do get, let's say I have a payout on 360, let's say I make the 10% and I can scale, if I decide to take profit out, I will not scale because I don't want my buffer to go down. So I'll take money out, I'll go back to the 360 and I'll go and make that 10% on, and then I'll use that 10% as a buffer up to that 640 mark or whatever. That makes sense. Yeah, okay, good. So that's the only reason why. It's just purely whatever account that I'm on in my phone, I'll just take a screenshot and update you guys. So that's all it is. Right. Okay. So markets today. So after a very healthy week last week, well, I say very healthy week, but it's certainly a nice week last week, breaking through structure here on the weekly. I like where this is. You guys know that. I've talked about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I really like where it is. Yeah, we've had a slight inverted hammer here on the daily. Could we get some pullback, possibly retesting the significant zone? I could see that happening, but I don't want to call a pullback. I know we could get a slight pause. We're seeing the 4-hour come down a wee bit, but yeah, I mean, looking at opportunities to continue to buy the S&P makes sense. It's risk on for me. Yeah, okay, as I said, we could see a pullback, and a result of that we could see a retest, but nothing that I'm insanely worried about for upward movement in the S&P, and that will continue to be my bias until something massively changes. So very good break, bit of uptick in volume on that break from a weekly standpoint, and technically we are in a bull market now, and it's fitting that we're breaking structure on account of that. So this whole simple price action could be paying off where, okay, are we looking for, I mean, this is obviously over a long period of time, but are we looking for that? Indexes are always long. They have been for 100 years. And I'll continue to like it. But intraday, yeah, okay, maybe a slight pullback, but ultimately looking for more upward move in the stock market this week. Absolutely. S&P up. Now, dollar finally getting that movement down. We're kind of falling off here. So, yeah, I'm going to maintain that bias now. For me, I at the moment, I think this area breaks. And we're kind of getting a good, nice little squeeze in here. We're healthy into it, where we're creating our lower lows, lower highs, simple Dow theory from a weekly standpoint. And dollar certainly looks like it's going to come down and tag this 101 handle or this significant zone, which we have done. These areas are kind of like magnets. So yes, anything can happen, but your bias really has to be now get down here and ultimately looking for a break of that area. I know we do have that weekly 200 contend with, but it's still got quite a ways before it even tags that. So daily perspective, dollar shorts, S&P longs. That's what I would be looking for. Maybe you get that 4-hour pullback from an intraday perspective, 20-period pullback. If you get a catalyst in here, you're looking at shorting the dollar. That may be a good opportunity to do that. So yeah, I think going with that trend makes absolute sense, and it's good to see things coming off now, kind of going with that directional bias we've been looking for quite some time. So that looks good. Right, pound New Zealand. So went off a very nice week yesterday. I think 9-point-something%. Yeah, 9-point-something% so far in June, which is obviously great. Not actually technically any massive trades. 2 good trades, but no massive trades. And still not a massive month. It's a great month, still not a big month, which is a good thing about it. Now, obviously, pound New Zealand here is still in. The runner is still in. It's not on this account because it is automatically closed, but we can see on this one. So runner here is still running, looking for a 4-hour anchor or a 4-hour swing. This is technically not an anchor because we've only had 1 bar either side, but yeah, I'll be looking at trying to get my stop to break even at least, but ultimately just let this run. So we banked 2R. We cannot lose on this trade even if we come down and hit my stop loss, but obviously I'd like to get my stop up to break even. Just got to be patient with it. The daily still looks great for me coming out of this corrective. It is still ready to move. The potential for this is still there, so I don't want to get all caught up in trying to squeeze this trade and capture as much profit. Just let that trend potentially continue on with the idea that, you know, we go on a run like we have done, as we've seen down here. This is what we're looking for, and we're not, you know, we're just kind of coming out of this larger ABC corrective on the daily. There's no reason why this can't do that. So looking for potentially something like this where we can, again, move our stops up and capture more and more profit, let that runner do what it wants to do, and maybe ends up being our first real big trade of the year. But let's see. Pound New Zealand, absolutely like that to the upside. Great trade. Great trade. Okay, watch this today. Euro CAD. Euro CAD I like here. I like the position it's in on the daily. I know from a weekly perspective, we haven't broken our area here. However, we have broken structure, and there is some impulsive and strong natured move to this price action to the downside. We are underneath these moving averages now. So, I mean, you could say we're going with the trend because we've broken structure here. I wouldn't go as far as saying that yet. For me personally, I think I would have to break down here. However, it looks good to the downside from a weekly perspective. Looking at the daily, again, looks a lot better. Digesting this move back to that 20, looking to continue on in this recent trend to the downside. So EuroCAD potential shorts look quite nice. Looking at it as a breakout retest, the 200 may come into play here. So creating our cup with handle structure. Here, structure 1, looking to come down and tag this zone again, and obviously breakout, retest, continuation down. So the 200 could come into play depending on how quickly we break or if we break. But if we do, let's say we come down quite relatively soon, I would need that to tag, give us a catalyst, uptick in volume for continuation to the downside. So if I get that tag and I get my catalyst, as I said, I consider that order as filled. It would still be valid. Ideally, maybe we get a third structure here, getting that 200 to come up so the break is underneath. But obviously, you never 100% what you want in terms of price action trading. Not all the time, anyway. But EuroCAD shorts, I do like. Euro NZD. So there's a few things I like here on the breakouts, but there's still some question marks on them. Right, Euro NZD I think is the pick of the bunch. I like it. Right, I'm just concerned. I think the weekly is good. We came back and retested. Obviously, had a nice week and a few bars digestion into this outside bullish engulfer, which sometimes you do expect with these big bars. A little bit of digestion in them. Back to that 20 and looking to move to the upside. So this one is good from a weekly standpoint. Yeah, we'll do, Prakash. I'll do that after I go through here. And we're kind of getting our in terms of our outside bullish engulfer here. Now, I agree the daily doesn't look as good as the weekly. You could say we came back and retested this area here. And looking to push on. And in terms of recent price action, you've got that push corrective and looking to come out of that to ultimately continue with that overall trend to the upside. So this one is good. 4 hour is very nice. The 4 hour trading time frame is very nice with our V reversal digestion in. All I'd be looking for now is that 20 period catch up, which could come today, potentially come tomorrow. But Euro NZD I do like. So this is nice. I know it's probably not a star in terms of that daily, but there's certainly enough there from the weekly perspective and from the daily perspective to allow myself to take a Euro NZD long. I just need, as I said, a little bit more, and it could come US session today, depending on how price action looks, for a breakout order to the upside. So good V reversal. As I said, we're looking to come out of here, and kind of similar to the S&P pullback, right? When you're getting that at the end, looking to break above. So Euro NZD is quite nice. UK Brent is still here. Oil is still here. Doing almost what we wanted to do. I don't quite like how strong we're coming back here. Maybe we need that third V reversal and accumulation. If it does come down, then I can look at it. But, there is some strength here. Let's see if this comes down. I'm not going to massively talk about that because it's a few days away from setting up, if at all. But maybe a catalyst. I don't think it would be aggressive entry, again, because it's quite strong going into this pullback or into this first, second, third, fourth structure now, looking to tag this area once again. So let's see how that goes. I'm feeling a little bit less confident that you actually get that, or it actually comes back down. But let's see. Euro Swiss and Kiwi Swiss. So these are the main ones that have a little bit of question mark to them, right? Euro Swiss from a weekly perspective. Yeah, okay, we've had a bullish engulfer here. I wanted to put these on because, it's unlikely I take them, but I wanted to show you why. So obviously, you prefer to be looking at Euro Swiss shorts, but there is a bullish engulfer there coming on an uptick in volume from the weekly. Right, and your daily, you're looking to come out from this. I just don't think, even though the context trading time frame is good, right? This is a nice setup. If someone said they were taking it long, I would understand it. I just couldn't bring myself to do it purely because of those higher time frames. So with Euro NZD, it's quite different, right? We've got ins there, and you could say, yeah, okay, we've got an in here with an engulfer and digestion back, that rounding pattern at the end of this move. I just think there's too many question marks from the weekly in that you'd rather be looking at short than long on Euro Swiss. But trading time frame context is good. It's just something I wanted to put on just to say I couldn't take that. So there's setups that I just couldn't take because of that higher time frame. So different from Euro NZD. And the same with Kiwi Swiss. So Kiwi Swiss here, which is better. It is better, right? Going with that overall trend. There's just something there on the weekly. I know you've got your possible in here. I just worry about the strength going into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing a Euro Yen with this one and overthinking it, i.e. analysis paralysis. But the 4 hour is decent. It's getting to the point where you're probably looking at it wanting to break soon because we've had the digestion period enough to digest this initial structure. But I'm kind of wanting this to push on so I don't have to think about it and have it in my mind. But I think out of all of them, Euro NZD is the best of the bunch. But I just wanted to show you guys those just to say, well, sometimes even though the context on the trading time frame is good, I can't take it because I think one of the strengths that I do have is getting that higher time frame confluence, which we saw in GJ, which we saw in, what was the trade before GJ? The German 30, which we had, and we have here. Just don't think we have it good enough in those two. So Euro NZD, I like. Let's see if we accumulate a little bit more for a breakout. If I get in one, obviously I'll message it on the Discord. But quite. As I said, not A-class, but certainly enough there. And certainly from a weekly perspective rather than a daily. But the daily, again, you have an in there. And looking at recent price action, I think the V reversal counter trend is kind of going away a little bit. So if I was looking at the short, this is becoming a little bit messy for shorting it. So let's see if we get that 20 catch up. And a bit more accumulation on this V reversal for a break to the upside on Euro NZD. But like that. But as I said, I'm not in any rush. I don't need to force anything. Certainly not today. Certainly not on a Monday. But just forcing a setup in general because, when you have good weeks, there certainly a tendency for me, certainly in years gone by of, I had a great week. I want more. And you think you think you're invincible, which doesn't, if you think that the market will humble you quite quickly and quite a few times, and I've done that quite a few times where I was always dangerous after a good week rather than a bad one because you think, right, I've got it now. I want to make more money. And what ends up happening, you lose one or two trades on a Monday and then it all goes downhill from there. So we've got to be patient and continue to remember the lessons the market has taught us, for the last couple of years and staying patient, remaining disciplined, and making sure you're 100% confident in each trade you take. Right, so the GJ setup, Prakash, I'll go through that. Let me take it down here because it was a breakout from down here. Actually, I can show you on the Discord. So here we go. Right, so here's the setup. If we get a new anchor, okay, yep, that's fine. So ABC, head and shoulders, V reversal at C wave. Okay, so if we go back to the daily. So our context from the daily and our context from the weekly was good. We were breaking through structure here. We're going to the upside. We're not extended. Had a pullback there, which is great, right? And the daily, again, looking even better. So a good impulse, looking at recent price action and an ABC pullback, which you can see a bit more clearly on the 4 hour. Back to that 20, outside bullish engulfer. I believe it is coming on an uptick of volume. Let me see. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so that engulfer coming on an uptick in volume, which is great to see as well. And there's my high time frame confidence, right? So looking at this to continue on and do this again. That's essentially what I'm looking for in terms of my high time frames. Right, perfect for me. 4 hour, we zoom out. Right, you can see it a lot more clearly, that ABC on the 4 hour, right? So we're coming into here, we've tagged our zone, our break of A wave, which we believe a lot of retail stops are in, right? And same with B, we believe a lot of shorting positions are here. And we created our V reversal head and shoulders on this 4 hour here, 20 period catch up. So, you know, there was a setup, right? There was the setup. You can see it a bit more clearly on the Discord. There, right? So head and shoulders, V reversal in, digesting it. Everything there looked very nice. And then it was a case of putting the order in and defining where the stop loss was. So with a 4 hour breakout, I go down to my 30-minute to define my stop, basically looking for recent anchors to trend or recent swings. Now, I have to go in and say, because I know we were offside a bit. Oh, that's the 1 hour, excuse me. So 30-minute. 30-minute. Where's my stop there? I'm getting confused now. 4 hour there, so latest swing. Okay, sorry. Here, latest swing was here. So this level is not actually quite right in terms of a 4 hour perspective. Right, so then my breakout order was here, and I believe before we got tagged, just at this point, this was the latest swing, right? Or the latest anchor. 1, 2, tagged into there, we got latest anchor here, and it moved up from, I believe, somewhere around here. So that was my stop location. This was not the latest one because we'd already been tagged in at that point. Right, does that make sense? So essentially, what we're looking to do on this daily is impulse, corrective impulse. That's all I'm looking for, and we're looking at the... You know, we have these patterns like ABC, we incorporate volume, we incorporate the 20 period, we potentially incorporate that 40-60 box in terms of your fib to try and get involved in trends most of the time. You know, really on pullbacks or just certainly not at the top of trends or at the bottom of down trends, etc. But just trying to getting in at the right time, which this seemed like it was with that bullish engulfer on volume back to that 20, ABC corrective. V reversal, head and shoulders. Remember, the head and shoulders pattern is a trend change pattern on that 4 hour to get involved in, you know, a move like this. And you know, maybe we will, maybe we won't, but that's the idea of the higher time frames and using all that to get involved in trades like that. That makes sense? Yeah, so V-Rev at C-Wave, going with trend, daily pullback, back to the 20, and break of weekly structure, like this trade. Very simple, you know, very simple. But as I said, I'm always a massive proponent of keeping things simple. KISS, you know, that was what I was taught, and I believe it. I believe it in most things, to be honest, is keep it simple, stupid. So that's it. Oh, sorry, Leon, I didn't see you. So if you take 1% of your profit, you'll also have a buffer. Yeah, Yeah, you could take okay, let's say you make $10,000 of profit just for an easy number, okay? So, and let's say Psy would take 60% of that because you're on a smaller percentage, right? It goes up to, I believe, 75 for the million. So 60% of that, so you're left with you get 60%, excuse me. You get 60%. So you are technically entitled to $6,000, right? You can take out 3,000. You can take out 1,000 if you want. Take out $500, which again will help your buffer for the next scale. So yeah, absolutely, you can do that. Yeah, I was looking for cut with handle, V reversal, and forgot the HNS. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether I see things quicker. I don't know. You know, looking at the same things for years, I guess some things I see quicker than others. But yeah, you can see that V reversal clearly, and then you just add a context, you know, into it. The head and shoulders, you don't really have to say head and shoulders. You could just look at the V reversal and pull back in. But yeah. Nice trade. I mean, nice setup. Really nice setup. So, very similar to this one, right? So, we got our cut with handle here. Obviously, the 3 setups that I take on my watch list is cut with handle, HNS, and VREV. That's it. That's all I need to look for. And once you continue to look for ones, you'll notice things that you like about each individuals, you know. So as I said, I was just looking at cup with handles before, HNS and VREVs, but it took me a bit of time to add in, you know, that little bit of accumulation, which makes big difference on breakout setups a lot of times. I can look at gold daily. Gold daily. What you're looking at, silver? This. I presume. Excuse me. A bit of a reaction there last week. Gold did. I mean, yeah, there's two. I don't like this as a pullback, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you got a kind of deeper pullback before potentially continuation. This is a little bit of a worry, this on that 20. You know, do you, as I said, do you maybe get this? And then, not to that full extent, but possibly. I don't mind that daily short, though. I don't mind that daily short at all. Let me remove some of this. So we're kind of in there, right? Something's got to give either way. Something's got to give either way. Don't mind this price action. Looking at this. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Honestly, I don't mind it. I'm just a little bit worried about that, but from a daily standpoint, there's let's look at 4 hour. Gold shorts. Yeah, I mean, maybe so. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it would need more than what it's got now. It's just whether it does this. I mean, it is gold as well. We did have a pretty poor pullback here. We pushed on. I do think price action now is slightly different, you know, than this. Here. Yeah, it's a tough one. It could, I mean, it could go either way. Silver, it could go either way. Yeah, maybe a 4-hour breakout retest would be safe. I wouldn't be surprised if you're asking me my bias. I like the daily for short. I like the weekly for maybe up to B wave down to C, but difficult one actually. Difficult one. But I could see the bias. I could see the bias for sure. You know, certainly if on the smaller time frames you kind of get that fall off here, right? Then it would look, you know, something like this where you're falling off. It just depends on, right, what we're going to do here. There's obviously some buying pressure coming in. Let's see. I mean, let's just, obviously just watch it. See what happens with gold. It'll be interesting to see what price action does. But I'll set myself on the fence. Personally, but I don't mind it short. But then there's a case for long. It's a difficult one. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Right, guys. Anything else you want me to look at? Any other questions before I head off? So as I said, if I'm entering into anything, I will let you know, and hopefully we can maintain this this little run, which would be nice. EuroCAD as well. I do like EuroCAD. If this comes down, and Euro NZD is obviously the main breakout, which I do like. Let's see how London opens, or it's just opening now. But yeah. Right, so nothing else. All right, guys, have a good Monday. Remember, it's quiet today. Don't blow your account on a Monday, and we'll do it all tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Stay safe. Peace.